everyone. Welcome to Hispanic Conservative. This is Celia. How are y'all doing? All right. My big concern this week, and it's like, why does everybody care so much? This Kilmar Abrego Garcia, I don't know what it is. Why are these Democrats so hooked on this guy? Oh, we need to save him. He's an illegal. He was ordered deported twice. He should have not been in this country already. He should have been deported a long time ago. Right. And like some of these other reports are saying, just because you have a kid, I don't think, does that change your gang style, your gang lifestyle? I don't know. Sometimes not. I mean, lots of famous gangsters had kids. John Gotti, what's his name? El Chapo, the other ones, all of them. They're still going to do what they're going to do. It doesn't matter if they have kids or not. Right. So, okay. So this Senator Van Hollen from somewhere in the I can't even think of the word now. New England. Okay. When let's go back to the White House when Bukele was here. President Bukele from El Salvador was here. I can't even talk right now. My R's are not rolling. When Bukele was here, and there was a reporter like, oh, so you're not gonna, asking Trump, oh, you're not gonna get him back, and they're like, and I'm just like, why should we? Who is this guy? Why is everybody always asking about the guy? It's like the thing to ask about this guy. And even Bukele was like, what am I gonna smuggle him in? What? It's just a bunch of baloney the way all these reporters are. Oh, we need to bring him back because he has a kid. Plenty of people are in prison because they did something and they have kids, but they're in prison. Okay, that's what it is. If you're in prison, you're in prison. Doesn't matter if you have kids. You did something to get you in there. That's what it is. And he was illegal. He was ordered deported twice. He did not leave. He could have self-deported, but no, they picked him up. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, we need to go to El Salvador. We need to save him. No, you don't. I don't want that kind of person here in this country. I just really don't get why these Democrats are so crazy over these illegals. I mean, okay. So, Bukele was like, I'm not going to smuggle him in and this and that. Let's go back to the White House. And President Trump let him answer the question, and all the Supreme Court said was to facilitate his reentry or return to the United States. But if they don't let him go, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? You can't tell somebody how to run their country, how to run their own country. Right? That's what these people are doing. These Democrats are like, oh, you need to return him. No, we don't. No, they don't. We don't want him. I don't want him here. You had him in the sanctuary city, sanctuary state, sanctuary, whatever. No, I don't want him here. You better not even come to Texas. Because no, there's no sanctuary here. So, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, so Van Hollen was going to, okay, so I've got a couple of, let me go ahead and do this because I want to go ahead and add it to, let's just go ahead and actually, let me make it here. And let's
facts and information.
The reality is this wasn't a Maryland father. This was a El Salvadorian man who was illegally in this country, who was affiliated with MS-13.
There is no evidence to that.
Let's set the record straight about who this person is.
There is no evidence that he was a gang member.
With all due respect, if the Department of Justice has come out and said that he has gang affiliations, just like the same man who killed Rachel Morin had gang affiliations. So you would have told me before Rachel Morin's death, you would have defended that man and said he had no gang affiliations and he went on to kill Rachel Morin. So instead of defending this gentleman, talk about who he actually is and talk about the risk in keeping illegal criminals in this country. This is exactly what President Trump was elected to do, to return these people back to their home countries, and that's what he did.
We're not defending him. I'm going to reiterate that is unsubstantiated. There is no evidence of him being a gang member. He was married he is married to a U.S. citizen,
So?
and he
There's
was
a lot
in
of
this
married
country
gang
legally.
members.
So?
Okay, but we don't know if he was
Being married
actually.
does not make you not a gang member.
There's no evidence. We're going to move on.
Yeah.
There's no evidence that he was a gang member, and I want to
The
reiterate that
Department
to our
of Justice
viewers.
came out and said there was credible evidence that he was a member or
You
affiliated
said
with
he's a gang
MS-13.
member, and he
That is a
wasn't
fact.
legally allowed to be here, which, again, he was legally allowed to be here.
No, he was
And he is
legally
married to
deported
an
You can hold
American
court for him
citizen.
all you want. He's
Or
no
they
longer in
deported
this
twice.
country.
All right.
One person, the Americans are safer because of it.
And to go back to the original question, so right now the White House seems to be doing nothing about getting him back, and that's fine. I'm going to move on.
He's an illegal immigrant.
Okay.
He was here illegally with deportation orders in 2019. What part of that do you not understand?
I understand the story very well, and I'm going to stop going back and forth with you on this, but I will say, again, he had every right to be in this country. Is there any scenario under
He
which
did
this
not.
guy...
He was an illegal immigrant.
We're going to move on
serious?
this.
No, I will not let you go.
He did not have any right to be here, and he was ordered deported twice. Why do they keep saying he had a legal right to be here? No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Forward.
Oh.
He was an illegal alien in this country with a deportation order in 2019. He is an El Salvadorian citizen. If you are not a citizen of the United States of America here illegally, there are grounds to deport you, in which happened recently.
Again, unsubstantiated. Those are not the facts, but I will move on.
No, those are actually facts. She said he had every right to be in this country. Just so you know, if you're watching this, and these facts that I'm laying out here now pertain to you.
The Maryland man, like they keep saying, because, and this is what this gentleman is talking about here. Let me go back to, what's his name? Larry O'Connor. I'll see if I can put the link on the bottom. But it's true, it's like this guy doesn't even belong here, but they're like, oh, he has a right to be here. He doesn't have, no illegal has any rights. And I remember there was a case where they said anyone illegally here does not have constitutional rights. You don't have constitutional rights because the constitutional rights are for the citizens of this country. So I don't know where they keep getting all this. Oh, they have rights. They have rights. No, they don't. You don't have rights. Go get your rights in your own country if you want rights. Okay, where did I have another one? 1416. Let me go over here. So there's some more. Oh, some CNN stuff. Let me go back a second. I'm trying to find the right spot. Somewhere around there. Okay. Some other things again with Larry O'Connor. Okay, let me go ahead and play you this. Let me go ahead and put it back up in here. Let me play this
Today on Jake Tapper's show, CNN.
President Trump and President Bukele made it clear that Abrego Garcia will not be returned to the United States, despite this U.S. Supreme Court ruling saying that Trump had to facilitate his return. So are they just ignoring a U.S. Supreme Court ruling, or is the fact that the ruling was so mushy, in your words,
yes,
giving him an opening?
It's a technical term I learned in law school, Jake. Mushy, look, they're working within the ambiguity that the Supreme Court justices gave them. They did not order the administration to return him to the United States. They said that they need to facilitate this return. They could have said,
nope,
we order him returned, but they didn't do that.
Nope.
So you heard the Attorney General. She was being very careful in the Oval Office, which she was asked, would you help? She says, of course, we'd provide a plane, right? Thereby facilitating whatever El Salvador is doing. The Supreme Court appeared to defer to the executive branch, given that this is an international matter. And you see, yes, it does look a little bit like a semantic game, but they are playing within the bounds of what the Supreme Court ruled. So no, they are not defying this order.
Bottom line, but you'll hear.
Yep. And there you have it. It's like, oh, you need to bring him back. No, we don't. No, we don't need to bring him back. No, we don't. He's a gang member, has affiliations according to this, whatever that other court was. Like, really? No. Where are we? 1556. See if I can find the right spot. This is a CNN. Oh, with this guy, I love him. He's so amazing. He put some truth bombs on these people at CNN, like this this other woman, she's just like really ridiculously stupid. But okay, let me go ahead and add this one back in. And we'll play this one. All right, let's roll on this.
Right when he was making the point.
I think you guys need to understand,
Interferes.
for the Trump administration, there's no version of this man's life that ends up him living in the United States. Here's the way they view it.
Nope.
He's an illegal alien from El Salvador who came to the country illegally, who has a deportation order, who, in their view, and in the view of some immigration courts, has an affiliation with MS-13. They also believe on the Supreme...
That's not quite what it is. I think that
Yes,
the
it is
issue of
what
the
it is.
MS-13 thing is probably the most unclear of this whole thing. The administration has not provided that concrete evidence that they
Well,
say they
their view
have
is
that
that
he's a part of
immigration courts-
MS-13, and he strongly disputes
Should have kept
in
talking
court,
over.
right? So this is not me saying it. He has disputed in court that he is a member of MS-13.
I think this is your
Cut
But I
her
mean, it's
off.
predicated on something that is not necessarily.
They believe every...
There you go.
Oh,
Thank you, Newsbusters, as always.
that woman is so annoying. I mean, she had to go interrupt. And that was his point here, Larry, that she's interrupting him and going along with the story, and that he, MS-13, and then she's like, oh no, there was no evidence. The court said twice, two different courts who ordered him deported said he was affiliated with the MS-13. Just because you don't have any tattoos, I don't know, maybe he's one of those trying to stay under the radar. That's just not okay. All right, let me go to this one. Let me start here. Let me see. Oh, it's gonna go back and recalibrate, whatever. The thing is spinning. Okay, hold on. All right. So we're going on. Let me tell you what, if you don't know who Stephen Miller is, I absolutely love this guy. I love this man. Since the first Trump administration, he just goes in there. He's a ball buster. I love it. Stephen Miller is a ball buster. You want to come over here and argue with him? No, he'll take your argument and blow you out. All right. Okay, but before we get to that, let me go to this. So Senator Van Hollen's going down to El Salvador. He was going to go try to see the guy or see if he can get him out, or I don't know, whatever the heck, to check on him. What the heck is that about? Why do you care about this guy? What is it about this guy that you care about him so much? You want to keep the family together, send the woman. She can go down there with a baby. Órale, vámonos. Ooh, Wade Phillips. Talking about football. Anyway, so I think that's his name. So he's going down there to go check on this guy, Abrego Garcia. And Dems want to go down there and go check on him. I'm like, are you kidding me? Now, there was a woman who was murdered by an illegal person in the same state, but they don't do anything to go talk to her mother or go see her or attend anything, but they're after this illegal guy over here. Like, for real, are you serious? It's just crazy. What's her name? I know I wrote it down. I thought I did. Rachel Morin. No comment about Rachel Morin, but they're all about this guy, Abrego Garcia. Dems have to ask for the money, to taxpayer money, to go to this trip. Now, who is it? James Comer? He's the one that handles the money. Say no. No, you want to go down there? Use your own money. Don't use my money to try to go see this guy. I don't care about this guy at all. At all. There's a lot of people who don't care for these kind of people. If he's a criminal, he's a foreigner, he doesn't belong here. Why are you spending taxpayer money on the guy? He shouldn't have been here in the first place. He should have been actually physically taken out of this country. But, Joe Biden and his idiocy, let all these people come in here. And there's another story I want to talk about. 530,000 people that some stupid judge says that, you can't deny their legal status or whatever. It was supposed to be temporary legal status. All the people that the Biden administration flew in on planes undercover and they wanted to be secret, right? Oh, the border crossings are low. Oh, yeah, but they're all coming in on planes now. So now it's like, oh, you can't take away their protected status. Yeah, it was supposed to be temporary. Temporary. Not like they get to stay here. These Democrats are up to every trick in the book to get these people to stay so they can vote for Democrats. Oh, we get to stay. Oh, we get free income. Oh, we get help with housing. Oh, we get food. We get all this shit. And what do I get? Me, the one who was about to lose her house. I don't get shit. But all these other illegals, they come over here and they get all the food, the rent paid, their money for clothes, whatever. They get their kids into schools. They don't even speak a lick of English. Some of these kids just like, oh, but they have a phone. They're in the classroom on their phone playing games. What the heck is that? Why does your kid have a phone if you're so freaking poor? I don't know. Anyway, Dems have to ask for taxpayer money to go to El Salvador. I say no money for these people. So they were talking about some of this on Timcast IRL about this judge, and there's a lot of judges going up against Trump and turning over what he's done, and denying their legal status, and the judge says, no, you can't do it. Or this other guy in El Salvador, oh no, you can't do it. You need to facilitate his return. It's a bunch of stupid idiocy. These judges are idiots. If I knew all their names, I would call their names. Maybe I'll have to look up some stuff and see who these people are. All right, let's go on to this. I want to share this screen. Let me show you this. Why does it even show me this box all the time? Stephen Miller. Oh, I love Stephen Miller. He's so damn smart. He's so damn smart. I love this man. And when he was in the White House, that day that Bukele was here, and he went over that whole explanation about he's an El Salvadoreño. What are you going to do? He's in jail in El Salvador. You can't go get him out. What are you going to break him out of there? I doubt it. A bunch of idiots. Stupid Democrats, I swear. So ridiculous. Okay. Let me make this full screen, and then let me see if I can go. Am I about 1.5? I'm about 1.25. Okay, that'll work. All right, let's go.
Chief of Staff for Policy and Homeland Security Advisor. All right, Mr. Miller. Van Halen is going to El Salvador tomorrow. What do you think the chances are of him returning with a terrorist?
Van Halen, but he's making a joke.
I judge them to be quite low, Jesse. The Senator Van Halen seems to be under the very confused impression that this MS-13 terrorist is his constituent. He is President Bukele's constituent. He is President Bukele's citizen. Yeah. He is President Bukele's resident. He is not a Maryland man. He is not a Maryland anything. He is an illegal alien from El Salvador with a deportation order from the United States. He is not legally even allowed to be in our country. Under the due process that these Democrats so venerate for illegal invaders, it is legally impermissible for him to have one more minute in this country. So we honored the law and obeyed the law by getting him out of the country. And if the entire Democrat Party was to work itself into a state of emotional hysteria to demand the return of illegal gang members and terrorists to our shores, then that 21% will soon be 15, and then it'll be 11, and then all they'll have left is the support of actual confirmed MS-13 members, and that will be the entire base of the Democrat Party.
But Miller, he's wearing a Bulls hat. I mean, he was just a guy from El Salvador, huge Bulls fan, and that's the only thing they have on the guy.
There's an elaborate conspiracy from the Prince George's County Police Department to label him correctly as an MS-13 gang member, so that President Trump would then deport him 10 years later. The simple reality is that the police said he was an MS-13 gang member. One immigration judge said he was an MS-13 gang member. I said he was an MS-13 gang member. Another immigration judge said he was an MS-13 gang member. And his president, who is not Donald.
Sorry, I opened another tab. Oops, my bad.
Trump.
Oh, crap. I shouldn't have done that.
A MS-13 gang member. Everyone who knows anything about MS-13 has said that he is a member of that organization. And this hoax. So, Jesse, we've all seen every time an illegal alien commits a crime, what is the wire story? AP Reuters, what does it always say? Cleveland man shoots innocent person. Ohio man shoots innocent person. Right? Los Angeles man. And they're illegal aliens. They never, ever admit that the people that are committing these crimes, that are joining these gangs, that are here in our country are illegal aliens.
No, but Miller,
imagine writing a header for
Miller.
a news story that says Trump deports illegal alien from El Salvador to El Salvador. Not exactly a news story, Jesse.
But he's a dad. And once you become a dad, you're automatically out of any gang possible. I didn't know if you knew that, but legally it vacates the gang membership once you father children. Let me ask you this, because these lawyers who represent traffickers and
no
who
gang
represent
members anywhere in the world have children. None do. Not El Chapo, not anybody. There are no members of any criminal gang anywhere on planet Earth who've ever had a child. So it's a good fact to know, Jesse.
Real quick, the lawyers who represent traffickers and gang members say that he was supposed to be deported anywhere else except El Salvador. You could have sent him to Russia.
That's correct. Well, so this is what's so bizarre about Democrats' plea. And so he has this thing. So he has a deportation order, and then he has this plea for withholding, which means don't send me to El Salvador, send me somewhere else. Now, the withholding order was invalid because he's a foreign terrorist. He's a member of an FTO, which means that there can't be a withholding order. And it's also
why would he already say, don't send me to El Salvador? Because he knew where probably he would end up, right? What is this all about? You know, oh, don't send me. You can send me anywhere but there. Because why? Because you know what's waiting for you when you get there. Because you know who you are, right? You know you're a criminal and you know what's going to happen when you get sent over there. How, I mean, come on, really? That's, to me, that's the obvious. Continue.
Invalid because the gang that he said was going to persecute him, the 18th Street Gang, doesn't exist in El Salvador. There is no 18th Street Gang. So for two reasons, it's completely invalid. But let's just say we wanted to honor it. We're going to say, okay, fine.
Yeah.
We're going to honor your request not to live in El Salvador. That means he could be sent to Haiti. He could be sent to Yemen. He could be sent to Syria. I mean, those are all the options on the table under his plea. Bottom line is this, Jesse. There are American moms and American dads, actual American citizens, who have suffered and been brutalized and been murdered by Joe Biden's illegal aliens, the Democrat Party's illegal aliens. Our tears, our sympathy, our empathy are reserved for actual American moms and dads, not the invaders, Jesse.
Yep. We only have so many tears, and we all know men don't cry. So we have to use these tears judiciously, Miller. Good to talk to you. See you soon.
Thank you.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page.
I love it. It's so great. Yeah. So why are they trying to save this guy so much? I really just don't understand. Now, the other thing I wanted to go and look at, let's see if I can. Let me see if I can pull this up. Because I want to go back to something else that Stephen Miller said. Where are we? 22 minutes. Something else that at white. Whoops. Can't spell, can I? No, Celia. Can't do it. Okay. Boom. Okay. Let me see if I can find. I have to go through the video. I'm going to scan through real quick and see if I can. It's 43 minutes altogether. Let me see if I can get to the point where Stephen Miller is talking. It's going to be, okay, wait, let's back up. And body. Okay, wait, let me go back to, let me go to, let me go to, where am I going? Wait. I guess I need to get rid of this one. Stop screen. What are you talking about? Okay, let me close this one. I don't know why. All right, so it changes. Let's go to share screen. Okay, here we go. I wish there was a way I could. Oh, let me make this a full screen. So you heard some of what she was saying about if they and then we'll get into Stephen Miller right after that. Okay, let me go ahead and add it, and you can hear what he has to say. And also, let me make this a little bit faster, 1.25, so we can get through a little quicker. Pam Bondi.
Provide a plane. So will you return?
And you are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. Can you just respond to that question? Because,
You know what really irks me? This reporter. So will you be returning him? Why are you so concerned about this guy? Are you going to return him? Are you going to return him? Okay, we need to get to what
I was asked by CNN, and they always ask it with a slant because they're totally slanted. They don't know what's happening. That's why nobody's watching them. But would you answer that question also, please?
Yes, gladly.
Really?
So, as Pam mentioned, there's an illegal alien from El Salvador. So,
this man.
with respect to you, he's a citizen of El Salvador. So, it's very arrogant even for American media to suggest that we would even tell El Salvador how to handle their own citizens as a starting point.
Yep.
As 2 immigration courts found that he was a member of MS-13.
Mhm.
When President Trump declared MS-13 to be a foreign terrorist organization, that meant that he was no longer eligible under federal law, which I'm sure you know, you're very familiar with the INA, that he was no longer eligible for any form of immigration relief in the United States. So he had a deportation order that was valid, which meant that under our law, he's not even allowed to be present in the United States and had to be returned because of the foreign terrorist designation. This issue was then, by a district court judge, completely inverted, and a district court judge tried to tell the administration that they had to kidnap a citizen of El Salvador and fly him back here. That issue was raised to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said the district court order was unlawful, and its main components were reversed 9-0 unanimously, stating clearly that neither Secretary of State nor the president could be compelled by anybody to forcibly retrieve a citizen of El Salvador from El Salvador, who again is a member of MS-13, which, as I'm sure you understand, rapes little girls, murders women, murders children, is engaged in the most barbaric activities in the world. And I can promise you, if he was your neighbor, you would move right away.
So you don't plan
But
to
the
ask for
Supreme
anyone
Court's
to get it
asking
back?
to.
So you don't want to ask
In the Supreme Court, Steve, was it 9-0?
Yes, it was a 9-0
In our favor.
in our favor against the district court ruling, saying that no district court has the power to compel the foreign policy function of the United States. As Pam said, the ruling solely stated that if this individual at El Salvador's sole discretion was sent back to our country, that we could deport him a second time.
Well,
No version of this legally ends up with him ever living here because he is a citizen of El Salvador. That is the president of El Salvador.
Yeah, even if he came back, he's illegal. And he would be deported again. I mean, what stupid people don't get. I don't understand how stupid people, I mean, I guess they're stupid people, mentally stupid. They no, you don't belong here. You go back to your country.
Your questions about it per the court can only be directed to him.
I asked
¿Usted lo
President
liberaría,
Bukele,
Presidente
what is
Bukele?
can President Bukele weigh in on this? Do you plan to return him?
Well, I guess, I'm supposed to not suggesting that I smuggle terrorists into the United States, right?
It's always
How
saying
can I return him to the United States? Like, if I smuggle him into the United States, what do I do? Of course, I'm not going to do it. It's like, I mean, the question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? I don't have the power to return him to the United States.
Inside El Salvador.
Yeah, but I'm not releasing, I mean, we're not very fond of releasing terrorists into our country. We just turned the murder capital of the world to the safest country of the Western Hemisphere, and you want us to go back into the releasing criminals so we can go back to being the murder capital of the world? That's not going to be happening.
No.
Well, they'd love to have a criminal,
Yeah,
released.
I mean, there's a fascination.
They would love it.
Yeah.
They're sick. These are sick people. Mark, do you have something to say?
Yeah, I mean, Stephen outlined it. I don't understand what the confusion is. This individual is a citizen of El Salvador. He was illegally in the United States and was returned to his country. That's where you deport people, back to their country of origin, except for Venezuela that wasn't refusing to take people back, or places like that. I can tell you this, Mr. President. No, the foreign policy of the United States is conducted by the President of the United States, not by a court. And no court in the United States has a right to conduct the foreign policy of the United States. It's that simple.
Exactly.
And that's what the Supreme Court held, by the way. It's Marcus' point.
So these judges that keep saying, "Oh, you have to bring him back. Oh, you can't. When he turned those 530,000 people, change their legal status or whatever. Oh, you can't do that. You have to bring." No, we don't. No, he doesn't. President Trump is doing what's best for us. You don't like it, you can leave. There's other countries you can go to. You can go live in Angola if you want. You're so in love with the communistic and socialistic ways, go live over there. What is with these people? Okay, let me continue. I think there's a little bit left.
The Supreme Court said exactly what Marco said, that no court has the authority to compel the foreign policy function of the United States. We won a case 9-0, and people like CNN are portraying it as a loss, as usual, because they want foreign terrorists in the country who kidnap women and children. But President Trump, his policy is foreign terrorists that are here illegally get expelled from the country, which, by the way, is a 90-10 issue.
Well, Mr. President, you said that if the Supreme Court said someone needed to be returned, that you.
Yep. Okay, that's it. Facilitate. Now, that's when they go into the question about facilitating. But if Bukele doesn't let him go, there's no facilitating to be done. He's in prison in El Salvador. Leave the guy there. If the family wants to go, I don't even know if they let visitors in that place. I mean, that place is a tight ship. I've seen a video of all the security you have to go through to get even in that place. I don't even know if they have visitors. Then, I mean, these guys are living in just their boxer shorts. And there's 3 levels of beds, you know, big cages and the holes. I don't know how many, I don't remember. And they're all in there, right? They have this big thing of water. They can like kind of bathe themselves. I mean, I don't know. Just why are they so with this guy? I don't get it. Okay, let me just go ahead and get rid of this thing. Okay. Why are they so, and you know, this, and I was going to say this too, because President Bukele has put all those gang members in prison, the streets are safer. So this whole thing about this Democrat, stupid, idiotic senator, whatever, Van Hollen going down there, you know, you're lucky, dude. That, you know, you're safe because people get shot in the streets or murdered all over the place. He said it. Bukele said it. Murder capital of the world. There were gang members everywhere. They weren't only just killing each other, gang members. They're rival gangs, right? They're killing innocent people, just like some of the cartels do, right? They just kill innocent people for the hell of it, just to prove a point. Oh, we can kill anybody we want, whatever. I don't know. So this whole thing about them going down there to check on him and this and that and his family. And even when Van Hollen, they showed Van Hollen on stage with someone and their people, he's like, I'm going to go down there tomorrow and I'm going to go visit him. And somebody was like, yeah. And I'm like, what? Why are you so for this guy? I mean, is that one of his family members, gang members, families? I don't know, whatever. I don't understand how come these people are so into getting this guy back. No, leave the guy over there. Once they get in that prison, when they're in that prison, they're in there for life. They die there. That's it. I think that's what I remember hearing on that one that one man that went in there and he filmed the whole thing, right? How they get out, they do some exercise, whatever. But you're in there for life, dude. You get 100-something years. That means you're gonna be dead because you're not living to 130. You're gonna be in there until you get called home, wherever whatever you believe in. I'm sure some of these people don't follow God, let me tell you. I'm sure they don't. But anyway, okay. So that's my take on that. You know, if you have any comments or whatever, put a nice comment. What did I say? Oh, yeah. Let me go ahead and leave a nice comment. Okay. I forgot about my little banners. See, I'm still working on using StreamYard, so I forgot about that. And I should have said in the beginning, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, or share if you think this is something that somebody should hear. If you have a, what do you call it? You know, go ahead and make a comment too if you agree or disagree. Just make sure it's nice. All right. And you can buy me a coffee. I'll put the link below. Support me in any way you can. A like and a share, a subscribe is good. Putting comments is great. Oh, thank you. Oh, sinuses are kicking me this week. Oh, anyway. Okay, I think that's all I have for today. But you know, this whole thing with this guy is like so annoying and tiring. Why they're so into saving this guy? He's a criminal. If he's a criminal, leave him there. You have the two times they said he was a gang member, leave him there. He's going to be there for life. Okay, that's just it. Why these Democrats want to save this man, I don't know. What's going on there? Okay. Anyway, Hispanic Conservative, this is Celia, and I am out. Thank you very much. Thank you all for watching, sharing, and subscribing. Bye now.